this steamer is emitting steam, this is going to be your best friend. And a smaller, they call these a 5-in-1 in the painting business because of the multiple uses. But it's a nice stiff blade, and you're going to want to use this to start, and I'll show you. The combination of how to use this tool and the 5-in-1 and this are very important. So we've scored the walls. We've soaked the walls with the solution, and we peeled off the back layer of the foil paper, which was the wallpaper above this. Now we're going to start, and when you start, you're going to want to put this up on the top. You start and work down. The reason is because this steam, when it hits the wall, will turn to hot, hot water, and it'll drip down the wall. And that's what you want it to do, because after we scrape the first layer, like you see this, if I were to put this on here, the steam is hitting the wall and dripping on the back side of this green paper. And that's what you want. It's loosening it up beautifully. So we're going to leave it on here for a second or two. And then when I take it off, you're going to see how I get rid of the glue is I hold this like this, and I just do this. And that gets rid of the glue. So when the wallpaper is off and you want to clean the wall up, get rid of the glue, you're going to hold this on for a second or two. And you can already see the water dripping down. And then you take this and you scrape it down. And then wipe it on the wallpaper, because who cares, you're removing it anyway. So this is going to be a nice way for you to clean your tool. Now show a picture of the floor, Jose. We want to make sure that where I'm standing doesn't look like that. Because if you step in that, it's going to be like stepping in a snowbank, and it's going to get on the bottom of your shoes and pack. So you want to make sure you keep the area clean. So we're going to take, after I do this particular area, see it dripping down the wall, Jose? You see it? See that steam dripping down the wall?
Yep.
And that's what you want, working in behind this paper, because it's going to loosen it up and do great. Watch this. See how nice and white that comes out? You see it?
Yep.
So that's just to demonstrate how you use this tool to clean the wall. You want to get that glue off. Okay, let's start up here in the corner. And I'm going to use the other knife. And the reason is because starting up on the top is a little tougher than starting in the middle. You're going to start this far away from the top and just clear yourself a little area from here to here so that you can get up and start working your way down. You're going to leave this on typically a little longer so that it really, really loosens up the wallpaper. Now we're going to try it. Watch. See it? This is how you start it. And you want to get right to the ceiling. You're only going to do a little area. And you see I've moved the steamer down. Let's take this off, which is... See, now this isn't a part here where I would reapply the vinegar and water, because it's not coming off as easily as I'd like. Then you go back up to the top. I really want to clear off that area nicely. See it? Let's get this area here. Now, here's the trick. You can turn it sideways like this to get a wider area. It doesn't matter whether you turn it this way or this way. Here's why I like to turn it sideways, because this is wider, which means I cover a wider spot. So as I work my way down, it's less bending and getting on your knees when you have to make less trips. So that's why I do it that way. Now here's the trick. On the first pass,
coming down, on the first pass coming down, you're going to see that I'm going to go this way and scrape a path down to here. Watch. See how easy this is coming off? Now the toughest part of doing this is the corners, because the corners are overlap. So you've got 2 coats here and another 2 sheets underneath it. So then I'm going to go back to the top and switch knives, let it steam for a minute, use my whiter knife, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the glue off. And I'm going to do that as I go down. Make sure that it's nice and clean. And the top part is going to be the toughest part. You're going to see why. Okay, now you see how I'm coming down? And look at that. Nice, Jose? Mm-hmm. Look at how nice and clean that is. That's what you're going to want to do. Get all that stuff off. As you go. Okay, now the trick. We're going to heat this. And once I have this much room from the top to the bottom, instead of going this way, which you can do if you'd like, there's a lot of ways to do it. I like to inch my way down with the knife going like this. So watch, you'll see, when I bring this down just a little bit, I'll start doing this. And you see the sheet's going to come off almost like one sheet. And the reason I'm doing this is because as I'm stripping it down, I'm cleaning the glue off. You see how the paper's coming out like one sheet of paper. And you're inching your way down. And not only are you taking the paper off, but you see that I'm taking the glue off as well.
Nice.
See it? And then afterwards, you'll take the stronger and you'll work these corners. But you'll go back with the heat to help you loosen that up. And as you come down, now this is what I meant by the reason why I like to use the wide instead of the shorter one, is so that you don't have to bend down so many times. Then I'll take this like this and throw it in a pile. Don't let it fall on the floor so you're stepping in it. And this is why I like to get, because I don't want to keep getting up and down and getting on my knees over and over. So see this piece of glue right here? I'm coming back for this. So I'll just put the steamer right over everything. The thing about this job is be patient. The steam is your best friend. If you let it steam thoroughly, you see it? Let the steamer do the work instead of you trying to scrape and use muscle. Let the steamer do the job. Now we're almost down at the bottom, and I want to show you the technique for doing the bottom. See how nice that's coming out? Oops. And when you start getting a large piece like that, rip it off. Throw it in a pile. Don't leave it under your feet. And if you're moving too fast and you've got glue like this, rip this off, come back over it. We're replacing the rug, thank goodness, on this house, so I could use the rug to wipe my knife as well. You see it? You just take your knife, wipe it on the wall, wipe it on the rug in this case. Now, here, you see the score marks on the plaster. And that's because going through the 2 layers of wallpaper, we pressed on that paper tiger a little too hard. And you may do that as well. I want to caution you that when you're scoring the walls, you don't have to press hard. So if in the event you see the score marks on the wall, sanding that will smoothen them out. So don't panic. Okay, now we're getting close to the baseboard. We'll rip off this and see if you can come a little closer, Jose. And the unit now is right at the tip, and this is a piece of molding that they used to give it a nice look instead of wallpaper going right into the baseboards. So you're going to now, instead of coming at it, holding it like this, now you're going to end up holding it like this because you're going to be coming down. Or if you'd like, you can go this way, like you did up the top. Either way. Now when you get at the bottom baseboard, you don't want to come down like this because you're going to push the wallpaper into this channel behind this molding. So in that case, you will go like this and run your blade, this blade, right on the top of your molding. So we're going to heat this up a little bit more. Let's clean this up. And you always, always, always want to keep your area clean because it'll get on the bottom of your shoes, and if you've got to go into another room, you're going to drape this stuff all over the place. One of the things that a professional will do and an amateur won't is keep the place clean. You can always tell a pro because they always keep the place clean. And you see, I'm going to hit this spot once more, and you see how nice this looks. It's clean, pretty much clear of the glue. And the one last thing I want to show you is you've had glue dripping down this wall, and where does it end up? It ends up on this baseboard. Now if I walk away and let it harden, it's going to be tough to get it off. So Jose, on top of the vacuum is a blue rag. So if you'll give me that blue rag. Thank you. What you'll do is you'll put this for a second on the heater, not long, and then wipe it. Here's the beauty of doing this. You steam clean the baseboard at the same time. That's how you do it. So now, what I'll do, and that's why the corners take a little longer. Let's get this into the corner. I'm going to take my heavy knife let it steam for a second, and then I'm going to work this corner. And then clean the corners. So that's how you'll do this. And again, the corners are the toughest spots because wallpaper overlaps wallpaper, forming 4 coats instead of 2 coats or 1 coat. And that's it. This steamer will go for probably an hour and a half before you have to refill it. It's fabulous, 35 bucks. Now, then you move over, and when you move over, overlap this.